Alright folks, welcome to the besidesthenorm podcast. I'm Scuba, I'm here with Monk. Oh shit, we'll put him on. There you go.
Hello.
No longer muted, we're fine. We've got a good few things to talk about today, but first, that band, not sure how to pronounce it, but we're just going to say, based on absolute guesswork, that the band is called Saint Phoenix, due to PHNX being the last name of the band, Saint Phoenix. What was your other suggestion?
Well, I thought it was a K, so I said Saint Phoenix.
Could be Saint Phonics or something like that. I don't know why. It could well be. But that track was called Reload. I'll put information on how you could get in touch with the boys and check them out. Quality, man. So we had our long-awaited anniversary podcast, which honestly thought on the day, people, like, well, the day before actually.
Aye.
And people started taking back away.
Aye.
In a sense, some of them not so great excuses. it was quite slanderous.
Some of them no excuses.
Aye.
Just didn't show up.
Aye.
They're just like,
So but we did end up with 5
I
of a possible 14. We ended up with Ronnie Miller, Kaz Paul, we had The Fair, Sean Evans.
Does Martin couldn't?
Martin was on the second podcast, was he not?
Aye, he came in at 9 o'clock when the first one was.
That is still mental to me, Martin, if you're listening. How you managed to come up to a thing that you knew it was at 6 o'clock? How you managed to come 3 hours late? I'm still yet that out.
But Sean
How
said that
he's 3 hours late for anything is mental to me.
Sean has said that that's his thing, though.
Well, this is the thing. He's the complete opposite for me in that sense, because if I'm going to a gig, I'm there 3 hours early.
Aye, tell me about it.
Ridiculously fucking early for a lot
I've been
of
there
things.
with you.
I know exactly, and it creates controversy with the other person that I turn up with. Because I've done it many times. I've said, listen, I have to go early because I don't like fucking being late. So if there's any delays and stuff, I'm covered.
I do like being early. I do like being late, so I'll go 3 hours early.
Aye. Just so I'm ready.
So nobody else is there.
I could hear a couple of bags of chips and shit in that time.
Well, we did hear a nice long McDonald's.
Well, that's it, exactly, man. That's why I go 3 hours. I'm just kidding. It absolutely scares me to death being late for kind of like gigs and stuff like that. If I'm performing.
Well, that's because you stay so far away from the gigs.
Exactly. So if I'm away to Glasgow, I'm away. I'm like there a week before the gig and shit. It's ridiculous. Like I'm there like obviously. I'd leave like early in the morning for a gig that starts at 10 o'clock.
Whereas when Glasgow rappers are coming through to gigs in Fife, they just didn't come.
Yes, they just
say nah, it's too far away.
After,
Can't go with that.
After saying for ages that they'll be there and they're on the flyer. Seen that happen a few times. Quite mad. So now that we've fucking ruined everybody. Well, the podcast went pretty fucking well.
Went too well.
Exactly.
I didn't think that would be a thing.
I had tunes set up, sort of past songs for past podcasts, past news podcasts that we were going to play due to me having an absolute fear.
You're paranoid at your tits.
Aye, absolutely. And before these podcasts, not so much nowadays, but for the anniversary podcast thing, because I knew it was 3 years, there was a wee bit nervous beforehand, so I was kind of just worried beforehand. So I set up music and I was like, we're going to need breaks.
It didn't help that folks started cancelling.
Aye, that also.
And at the one point, even Dad thought he was going to be late.
Exactly.
And we lost Ronnie for an hour.
Aye.
And so we were just like, oh cool, nobody's going to come, it's going to be me and you trying to fill up 3 hours.
So that was it. So I was absolutely, because I was like, if there's like fucking 11, 10 people here or whatever, we could definitely cover 3 hours. But because there was only 4, like, just before we started, 2 of the guests buggered off as well, for a drink.
Aye.
And one of them wasn't even drinking. He just fucking absolutely crazy. So we're left with Sean and Ronnie.
Aye.
Yeah, that's a good thing, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
We're left with some guests. I'm not saying these are arseholes because you're the only ones here, so we have to.
We need to be extra nice to Ronnie and Sean.
There you go, for putting up with us, man. So before it, Ronnie obviously came up and made sandwiches. Thanks for that. She came and made sandwiches.
She was definitely top cretin of the night.
Definitely.
And we didn't get to title her top cretin of the night. It was just sort of mentioned in passing. We didn't make it an official thing, unfortunately. So
that's it. But,
top cretin of the night.
Exactly. Fucking.
With a cake.
We thought, you thought you'd get a cake and put a wee 1-year-old.
A 1-year-old card for it.
And bring it through in a kind of dramatic sense by playing Happy
But
Birthday
at that
by
point,
Stevie Wonder.
Dad and Kaz had fucked off.
Right, so it was
just Ronnie and Sean.
So the dramatic effect was lost. And then I never got any cake. Somebody ruined the cake. What the fuck happened to the cake?
Some cunt was putting fucking like Budweiser tops on the top of the cake.
And it's all like shaped out pretty nicely. It looks bra, but
It looked dry, but it probably wouldn't have tasted very.
did somebody put sauce in it as well?
I reckon somebody put sauce in it.
I remember somebody ruining the cake and putting someone in it.
I didn't think anybody was going to eat the cake anyway.
Ah.
There was so much food. Actually, apparently not that much food because it was gone that night.
Well, I finished it off. A lot of the stuff.
Well, in fairness, I did go down the next morning and fill up a plate as well.
Oh, yeah.
But still, though, I expected to be thrown out a lot of food.
Absolutely.
But Sean is a fucking... I was going to call him a munchkin, but that's not right.
Well, you could call him a munchkin and then go on with your story. What would you go say?
He's a munchkin that eats too much.
Alright, he's a fat person, basically.
I mean, he's a skinny fat person. He's a fucking dick.
He's a future fat, as I like to call him.
Oh, he'll be rubbish when he's 40. Like, he'll be unable to stand. Like me, we would be friends at that point.
But he ate a hell of an amount of stuff. And you and Dad were sitting through there and just ate half of the sandwiches.
At one point, Kaz were talking rubbish about UFC. And as much as I like occasionally talking about UFC, Kaz is wrong, like he is with most things.
Right.
So I decided to leave. And I was also needing a pish. At this point, oh fuck me, I'd been needing a pish for about half an hour. Mm-hmm. And I was just like constantly talking with Kaz. Me and Kaz had a good time talking for some reason. Mm-hmm. And I was really needing a pish. So I ran away for a pish while you two were talking about something I didn't really care about. And I ended up talking to Dad in the kitchen, just munching away at sandwiches. I reckon where everybody else was at this point.
It's amazing the chemistry you and Kaz have, that he's totally fucking disagree.
We've got a mutual respect for each other. And that we accept that we disagree with each other. We agree on a lot of things, but the things that we disagree on, we have a mutual respect in regards that we could both argue our points. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where our mutual respect comes from. Mm-hmm. Even though he's wrong and I'm right.
Because a lot of the podcast was turning up with you talking to Kaz and then kind of Sean going back and forward. And a lot of
it was taken up by pokey bumwanks and necrophilia, actually.
I was actually I was happy it was just a few that were in when we started talking about pokey bumwanks and all that stuff, because I was like, if we were talking about that and like Kay Morrison was in, the Deputy Provost, or Bill, I didn't even think Bill would. You
don't think Bill would be interested in talking about pokey bumwanks?
Totally didn't think so, nah.
I could be all for it. Like.
He's like a kind of militant socialist fucking...
Socialists like pokey bumwanks as well,
I know, but he's like... When you see him doing like speeches and stuff like that, he's fucking proper hearty.
You can't imagine him talking about Israel and then switching to... Occasionally be pokey bumwank is fine.
Aye.
But I reckon he'd be all for it.
I think we could pull that out of him. Pardon the... I totally didn't mean... Honestly. But I'm sure we could drag that out on like... It would have
been a bit weird if we had like Richard Baxter doing.
Yeah, totally.
Or like David Alexander, who doesn't seem... Maybe they'd be alright. See, Scottish politicians are different from normal politicians because they've still all got that Scottish sense of, I don't really give a shit.
2 pints prick.
Aye.
They can enjoy that Scottish kind.
Aye, so I reckon pokey bumwanks would probably be alright as a topic for most people. And I was drunk. So pokey bumwanks was totally fine for me to talk about.
Let's quickly address the elephant in the room, the extremely annoying elephant. That I got drunk way too quickly. I don't know what fucking happened that day.
See, the thing is, right, that we spoke about this earlier, and I've seen you drunk lots of times, and so I hate you when I'm sober and you're drunk. I wasn't totally sober.
Even the thought of me getting drunk and talking to you annoys you.
It used to be... It used to just be with Buckfast, because you used to be a hyperactive fucking smiley cunt. You'd come into the room for no reason whatsoever.
Smiley, not smelly.
Both. You'd come into the room for no reason whatsoever, and you just go, and do that noise, that fucking noise. God, I hate you when you're drunk.
I think mainly because I was drunk at that point, I would have just done it mainly to annoy you.
To annoy me,
because I did not care in that stage.
And the thing is, I was too busy talking shit because boring everybody else probably. that I wasn't drinking as quick as you
Aye.
were. I got through a few pints, but that sounds like a lot.
That's it. I wasn't even drinking quick either. I was just kind of
Pints of vodka and coke, by the way.
Aye,
We're
aye.
Scottish. You were no fucking.
No fucking about here, son.
Nah.
So I.
And we had a pint of Jaeger bomb.
Well, that's what I'm
Forehand
saying,
as well.
Forehand was Craig, stupid idea to buy a Smirnoff and Coke tin of juice. Dumb. So we had that, slammed that down. As best we could, because it is fucking horrific at the same time. And then our new favourite drink, the pint of Jaeger, is a kind of a 3-shot shot glass.
It's a 70 mils of Jaeger.
70 mils of Jaeger put into the bottom of a pint glass, and then a wee tin of energy juice put around. And it matches, it works perfectly. The perfect flavour, and it's just magical, man.
It's delicious.
For some reason, like anytime I go to a pub, I didn't like the things, but it doesn't.
That's because they give you a shot of Jaeger and then they'll just pour like a fucking spitful of thing with it, so you're tasting mostly Jaeger.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be, the whole point of a fucking Jaeger bomb is that you're meant to get the alcoholic effect for the Jaeger and the energy effect for the Red Bull, but they're cheap fucking cunts, so you didn't get any effect for the Red Bull that they're putting in there. Whereas this, you're getting a full fucking tin and 3 pints, 3 shots of Jaeger. It's fucking delectable.
I've got a bit of horror story.
I think I've made a word up, but
I've got a bit of horror story, man. There was one year we were DJing. I'll just put this out there. When we were DJing at the local pub, I tend to go and give it a kind of I don't give a fuck attitude. So I'm less kind of performing. I'm more just there having a laugh sort of thing. And I get extremely drunk a lot of the time.
Aye.
Whereas most other places I'd be actually trying to perform in a sense. And but when I got up there I didn't care. I done the kind of Hail New Year thing. We got out and done that. We done the gig. And what we usually do is because it's so close to where we stay, we leave the stuff there in a locked cupboard and go back and get the following day or a couple of days later. Sometimes a week later because they're cool up there.
And you're both lazy bastards.
Yes. So I got invited out to a party after that. And fucking I went out and you can Stevie.
I can
That's
see
right.
you.
Just that's his first name, no second names. Well, his first name is English. There you go. So that's some fucking totally name drop there as well. That's his full name. So he had like a full bottle of Jaeger, and he was just pouring it, just shots of that on its own for everybody.
Oh.
And he gave me one, and I was like, I'm not into that, like, 'cause it's a bit licorice.
Aye, it's shite, aye.
So I tried. I was like, I do like anyway, and he said, "Oh, come on, scuba," like that, and I was like, "Fuck it, So I had 4. I had 4 in a row. With Stevie, who was like just handling it fine.
Aye, but Stevie probably drinks it.
Aye. Probably drinks it with his breakfast.
And then
Probably
pints it, just...
pints for breakfast. Pours it in with his frosties. But he handled the whole 4 of them, no bother at all, and I spewed my load.
Aye, but Stevie's a man. Like, he a stereotypical man, and you're not a stereotypical man.
So I spewed my load, like right next to him as well.
But this outside?
No, it was in the house. It was in somebody's house.
Oh, for fuck's
I'll tell you
sake.
whose later. I'm not going to name the rain. But I had the 4th one. I had to air the sink because I knew I was going to explode with puke.
So what did you hate?
Because I'm an arsehole.
Alright.
This is what type of fucking person I am when I get drunk. Usually my thing is, before I go to a party, I apologise to everybody individually around the room, and then I do like a massive group apology. Say, right, before I start, I am an absolute tube when I get drunk. And not in the sense like, fucking, you done that to me. It always worries me. Because you hate me so much when I'm drinking. That it's put this fucking major anxiety in me that I need to
but it's
apologise to
you're not
everybody.
like a dick, whereas you try to stab people and
No.
you try to be the hard man
Not
about.
at all.
You're just annoying as fuck.
Aye.
Although other people seem to like you, I do understand.
It's only because you've put up with it for so long. You put up with it.
Here's the problem, right? Is you try and be funny, and
you didn't find it funny.
nobody should find it funny.
See, you're basing my arseholeness on just your thoughts alone.
Right, so let me be objective about this, right? When we're both sober, we could put on a fucking tremendous double act, right? We are fantastic.
Less.
We're back and forth with the fucking Nobody understands what that slapping is.
That was just you wanking or slapping yourself.
It's a sea line. Just having a play. Anyway, so we're funny as a double act when you're sober. But when you're drunk, you still think you have the brain of when you're sober. And so you'll say nonsensical fucking pish. And then I'll be like, that's not funny. But because you hang about with Kenny people, they're like, you said the first one that came out of your mind, not the third.
Yeah.
So that's fucking funny. And I'm like, you didn't go with your third option. So it's not funny.
Craig's dead on hatred for me when I'm drunk has actually fucking moved me.
What's?
Fucking... Aye, anyway. So, fucking... It's fantastic. I enjoy getting drunk and taking a laugh, but Craig doesn't like it. It's just the way it goes.
I'm fine with you when I'm also drunk.
Mm-hmm.
But you tend to not be as sensible as me as I am? Me as... Wow, I went full retarded there.
Yeah, totally.
As I am.
That's what
I is more sensible than you.
That's just an unfortunate thing.
Aye.
But aye, fucking overall pretty good night. It went on for... Well, we've done 3 years and we're like... You continue on, I'm dying here.
The problem is, right, we got to 2 hours and 55 minutes and I looked at the clock, I was like, shit, we're about to start another conversation and it's going to go off and we're going to miss it. I'll try and stop Audie, but Audie was like, oh no, wait, at least let him fucking speak, man. Let him speak.
Or like you've cut it off.
Aye, like, I'm like, hang on, this is quite important. Shut the fuck up. You know, I think Dad was about to start speaking, and as much as I loved listening to Dad speak, because he was saying some fucking outlandish shit, I wanted him to speak, but we were also about to be cut off. So I was like, shut the fuck up. This is about to go off. So I'm going to stop it now. We're going to come back in like a minute, and we can start again for another 3 hours. And you were totally against this idea. You were like, it's meant to be 3 hours, just do 3 hours. I was like, we're actually getting a flow now.
I think my problem is that because it was meant to be 3 hours, and I felt that it was going to go badly. Again, just my anxiety again. I thought, if we fucking put it on again, it's just going to be... Kind of like, sometimes we hear like a news story and we're thinking, oh, this is going to be a 25-minute thing. And we get onto it and we're like, oh, no, well, that's... And we just say the headline and we're done.
Aye.
Pretty much. I thought it was
Got
going to be...
a couple of them this week.
Fantastic. But aye, that's sometimes that happens, so I was a bit worried in case that...
I was not worried at all, because at this point, we'd had no topics set up and we'd been speaking for the past 2 hours. Absolutely fine, because the drink was flowing. Kaz was being wrong as he is. I was being right as I am. And we were having an amazing time. And then Kaz started live streaming and we were all... I called him a sober libertarian. And it was all fun. It was all fun and games. So I thought it was absolutely fine. I wasn't worried in the slightest.
Okay, anything you would change?
A better cake.
Well, let's not ruin the cake. Fucking, I was actually looking forward to a bit of cake in the morning, which would have been terrible.
It was rock solid when I put it in the bin.
Oh, fuck, right.
It's like a fucking first year anniversary brick.
No. I love my brick.
I can't think anything I would really change.
No. To be fair...
You hating less alcohol would have been against that.
Absolutely. Actually, no, I disagree with you a wee bit.
Nay Jaeger bombs beforehand.
Actually, that's... I spoke to you about that the other day. The Jaeger bombs seem to be the things that fucking... Because I got an immediate Buzz Lightyear. Right fucking when I did that. Because we didn't just, enjoy the drink. We sink an entire pint of that stuff. And I was kind of a wee bit away with the fairies when we started. And then about 5 minutes before, because it was an absolute panic and rush for the last hour because there was people coming in, out, and then they were fucking organising.
We expected folk to get there for 5.
Oh, yeah.
And they all came at like 4:45.
Oh, absolute rush. Because I was totally like, I was like, right, cool, everybody's here, we've got like an hour left or something. And then I was like, oh no, we've got like fucking 10 minutes. And I was like, shit, do we wait? Do we fucking... And then we eventually decided, I think it was probably you, me and anything else, you were like, fuck it, we'll just start it and see how it goes. But aye, that was fucking good judgment call.
Just thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Well done. Because I would have left it, because they didn't about an hour to come back. So I would have done a while. We've been extremely fucking late, but I would have loved for more guests. I would have loved that, and that would have been fantastic. But of course, you can't really do much about that.
No, sometimes things can't go. And we, in fairness, there was a couple of people that pulled it because of transport, and that's fair.
That's fair, because we had set up transport, and the guy we had for transport wasn't able to do it, so we were kind of fucked in that sense.
We were going to try and offer secondary the options for transport, but no, it didn't work out. So we lost a couple of people due to that, but that's fine. You can't help that.
Totally, man, totally.
Next year, though, we're not doing a podcast.
Aye, we've got a few ideas. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it near the time. We put up an event page like 4 months again before. Fucking gives us a whole year to set it up, so that's fucking perfect. So I've got something in mind, but it'll not be a podcast. Well, in a way, we'll be live streaming.
Well, it will be a... Aye, kind of.
Aye. So, in a sense, it'll be something for you to listen to. So, that's pretty cool, man. Fucking, it's 25 past. It's time for a join. This is a band called November Lights with a track called Clearer. And I'm blind, so I had to move in.
Where's your heart at? Now I wanna reach inside to hold on to what is right. I say, is it harder? Yeah, knowing you're alone for one more night. 'Cause you are, you. I'm making up your lies. I wanna be your light in the mirror. Let's make it clearer now. Say, is it harder to know when you're alone in this whole fight? 'Cause you are, hold on tight, I'll be right by your side. I'm making up your lies. I wanna be your star in the misty night. Hold on tight, it's okay to take time. We can stay up all night. I wanna be your light in the mirror. Let's make it clearer now. She's got nothing to hide. I'll take the road that'll lead us all night. Let's take it all to bring us to life. Let's take control and we'll love us tonight. Break down these walls with nothing to hide. Hold what you love and we'll hold it so tight. So let's take it all and follow your heart tonight. Tonight, yeah. Hold on tight, I'll be right by your side. I'm making up your lines. I wanna be your star in the misty night. Hold on tight, it's okay to take time. We can stay up all night. I wanna be
Perfect timing for a wee cough. Jesus.
Unmute me.
Oh, that was horrific.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
You could have at least unmuted me so that I could speak
I know,
while you were dying.
sorry. That was November Lights with a track called Clearer. And I've a clearer throat now after fucking...
Do you, aye?
Jesus Christ. Oh, the death. Aye, so November Lights, Clearer. Fantastic.
See, and our problem is we've currently both tackling a cough at the moment.
Aye. I think I've actually picked up a cold, man.
Oh, you didn't fucking get to me. I've already got a
a
burnt throat from fucking throat death. Pish.
That's one of the unfortunate things. So I had a few news stories and we've had to shut them down
Because it was
they're
shit.
pretty much shit. Aye.
It might
I
have
thought
shit
they
as
were
well.
slightly interesting, but one of them I don't even really want to talk about because it's a local thing. Too local. Like I'm already talking about Fife, but when it comes to my wee town of Kennewy,
Aye.
so I have to speak about because you ken these people,
Aye.
and it was an arsehole as well, so you have to watch. Censorship based on fear. That's what it
Aye,
was.
basically.
And the second one was shit. So we're going to go with Craig's. Fantastic.
It's all politics.
Oh, right. Here we go.
Fuck's sake. Yay.
Brace yourselves, people.
So start off with the one that's just going to be headline, then next story, right?
Right.
So both the US and Russia have claimed the same kill of Abu Muhammad al-Adani.
Right.
I don't know if I've said his name.
Right,
Totally
so
butchered his name, sorry.
Who's that?
He's the spokesperson and leader of ISIS.
Right.
So both US and Russia have claimed.
Are they now frightened at the fact that they fucking both killed them?
Well, they will be because they're both trying to fight for the power of people's support.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see a lot of the conspiracy theorists who are talking about how evil the US and the UK are for bombing Libya.
Mm-hmm.
Well, jump straight on Russia and say, look how they're dealing with it. They're actually fighting against ISIS. Mm-hmm. And then you'll read the exact same tragedies for them where they'll bomb a civilian area and then a wee boy will be stuck in the back of an ambulance and folk will greet about him. Mm-hmm. But that's fine because it's not the USA doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
So
really annoying.
did they put the news out at the same time?
I don't really care.
No.
The both just seem to be. It came out, I think, Tuesday, and they've just all been just like, "Oh, that was us." "Oh no, it was us." Like they didn't ken where they've dropped bombs.
Aye.
That's a bit
You think
fucking
they would
worrying.
have some sort of note? of
Aye,
that
yeah,
somewhere,
database.
A wee army post-it note, a wee camouflage. You probably couldn't find it if it's camouflage, to be fair.
Well, the US say that they've been bombing this area for a while to try and kill the leader, specifically to kill this leader. And Russia apparently said it was just a one-off thing, that they just sort of jumped in and were like, boom.
Just one wee rogue fucking Russian.
It's petty. Like,
Aye.
these are two world powers just like, I got there first,
Oh, totally.
Like, fucking really? Really? Grow up. Jesus fucking Christ.
If America as a whole and Russia is listening, grow up. So, there you go.
Then he come and kill us though.
Aye.
Because, sorry.
Well, we're going to get killed by the fucking local Kennewy anyway.
But does it matter who killed him? He's dead.
Aye.
And it doesn't change anything. There's going to
They've
be...
killed the cretinous lout we're looking to find. And fucking...
But it doesn't mean anything.
Nah. Because you could just elect an early
There's
leader.
going to be an air leader the day.
Oh.
There's probably already an air leader.
It's like if you kill Jeremy Corbyn. There's going to be an air
There you
person
go, Owen
that comes
Smith.
in.
So then
Aye.
please don't do
There'll
that.
be no Jeremy Corbyn, but there'll be somebody else there that will just...
It could be worse.
Aye.
It could totally be worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a fucking stupid thing for two world powers to be just like, I got there first. No, fucking Jesus. Get your fucking mum
I'm
and
just
dad to come
imagining
and
them at a
sort this.
press conference, just... Russia
Obama's
fucking...
like, yeah.
And then
Putin's
fucking...
like, yeah. Fuck. Fucking hell. These are people in charge of countries.
Oh, it's fucking utterly pathetic, man. It's like... Oh, that is sad.
Fucking
Shit,
bitch fighting in conferences and shit.
Well,
Oh,
that's
right.
That's
So let's get off this before I fucking commit suicide.
Aye.
There's a weird story. There's been a significant rise in attacks on rubbish collectors.
I love this when you first mentioned it because I ken a few rubbish collectors and I'm interested to talk to them Whereas before I was like, you're a rubbish collector, I'm not to talk to you.
So, for some perspective of how significant this rise is, there was 117 attacks on rubbish collectors in 2012, which still seems like that's a lot for someone that just collects bins.
See, when you think about the people around about here, you think they're actually capable of doing that. So, you know, take my fucking bins out, bang, like that. Which is the kind of cretinous louts, I'm going to keep using that forever. The kind of cretins that you fucking didn't want to be alive, really. You didn't need it. You didn't need that shit.
Angry, but anyway. So, 117 attacks in 2012, already too much. 159 in 2013, and in 2016 it was 309.
Jesus.
So it's almost doubled.
Fuck.
That's insane.
So what's the reason for that? There has to be
a
reason.
You could probably guess.
Aye, the stricter.
It's I told you that earlier.
Aye. No, well, I guessed that earlier as well.
Alright.
We were talking about it.
So, due to stricter rules on recycling, bin men have been told to not collect certain bins if there's too many items that are wrong.
There used to be a thing like if the lid was open, you couldn't collect it.
Aye, I think that's the thing anymore because we've had our bin collected.
I think they do realise that stuff can get overfilled. It's just the way of life.
Aye. So, they've been attacked by groups of people before. There's been like a group attack on bin men. Folk have used weapons. A rubbish collector group was chased away from a street with a samurai sword.
Jesus.
And an air guy in Birmingham, I think, pulled out a gun. Like, a fucking gun.
Wow.
Because your bin wasn't fucking emptied.
You don't turn me a fucking bin.
Like, the kind of things that would be wrong here would be people putting like a full tin of beans in the green bin.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of shit. Just didn't do that. Like, sure, some of the recycling rules are getting a bit ridiculous, but it's because they're trying to save money. If they need to keep putting out full tins of beans for the green bin, that costs more money, and a lot of it is going to be ruined for recycling. They can't recycle it properly. So they're trying to save money. But, in fairness, is saving money worth 309 attacks?
No.
Like, there needs to be some sort of way to combat that. That's ridiculous.
Aye. Again, it's just fucking violent idiots a lot of the time. They're just fucking angry for no reason a lot of the time, and they're just... It's
excessive. It's way fucking excessive. There's no need for it. So if you're ever going to attack...
So it's UK white. That's including up here.
UK white, aye.
Fucking hell.
So if you're ever going to attack a bin man because he didn't empty your bins... Is your fucking fault he didn't empty the bins?
Then you listen to this podcast.
And he's been told... Like, it's not their fault they can't... They've been told not to empty your bin.
There you go.
It's not their fault. You can't...
It's like
and attacking them isn't going to help. What's that going to do? Wajang, he's just going to be like, oh, well, I'll pick up then. No, you're just going to get charged for it, you fucking idiot.
It's like that whole thing of people getting angry at people in call centres.
Aye.
Like, they're the fucking arseholes that have ruined your day. They kind of are. Like, they're the ones that phoned.
Aye.
But they're getting paid to do that sort of thing. So there's no point in fucking moaning at a lot of the call centres and shit. I've done it before and I got screamed at loads of times. They actually picked the Rugby World Cup where England won that year for us to phone people. It was a shitty business. I don't know how they run this business. Sorry to get off your story.
You name and shame them.
Aye. This business, it was called Autocar. Like, shit name for a start. The business proposition, I don't know how they fucking made money, but they gave away a free magazine on how to sell your car to people that are selling their cars already. No. There was one section of the workforce that would go through like the Auto Trader website, fucking like all the kind of car selling website, all the most famous ones. They would go through and collect names and numbers for different people and information of what car they're selling and stuff like that. So that when we phoned, we would have the name of their car that we're selling and stuff. Like, oh, I see. And then never mention that we've got their names off Auto Trader or fuck all. So we'd like ken the name of the car they've got and stuff like that. And so they would think it was just a random kind of information call sort of thing, which it absolutely was.
Sorry, how would they think that you got the name of their car if it wasn't for just
I don't know. I've no fucking idea.
Oh, it's God.
But I have no idea how it happened and how they make money by sending out a free leaflet. Maybe it was filled with ads, somebody suggested years ago.
Maybe. Well, were they not selling anything?
No, that was it. That was my job.
Their business model was a free magazine.
Aye.
It's a pish business.
Aye, I didn't understand what the fuck happened with that.
Well, that's some shit.
It was one of the monotonous office jobs. Just a really fucking terrible job. So I ran a war.
How old were you?
16.
Alright, so you're at the age where you're not actually even getting minimum wage.
I'm still fucking at that age when I'm just like, if I'm in a shit job and I don't like it, I'm away.
You're gonna run away.
I would actually fucking I'm so bad in that sense that I would actually risk getting sanctioned because I didn't like that job, and I've been like that throughout my whole life.
Well, that's an issue with the job centre, is that they'll punish you for not taking a job that you didn't want. Whereas if they'd left you an extra month to find a job that you do want, you're going to stay there longer. Whereas if they put you in a shit job just to get their monthly quota out of the way, you're going to be back in a week.
I've had a lot of people saying, like, because when I talk about shit jobs, I'm talking about like McDonald's and fucking working in cafes and all that kind of stuff, and obviously that work and production work and stuff. I'm not saying you're shit people for doing these jobs. I absolutely fucking applaud you for doing these jobs. To be able to sit and do that takes a fucking much more active mind than fucking I have. I can't fucking do it. I sit up at Kettle Produce thinking of ways I can cut my hand off to get out of the work. Mental. Absolutely fucking mental thoughts. That's absolutely mental.
Makes sense.
Aye. Just absolutely fucking crazy, man.
I support people that work in shit jobs.
Absolutely, man. There's fucking...
The fact that the fact that people are working 40 hours a week in these shit jobs where they're dealing... There was a thing went about on Facebook there, I think last week. I shared it because I'm petty. It was somebody had wrote something on the fridge door with cleaning. They'd been like cleaning it, and then they wrote in the cleaning stuff. Your dad's a janitor, or your ma sells cookies, or whatever the fuck it is. And somebody was outraged at this. Outraged! And like, oh, so fun and games, isn't it, here, eh? Huh, and the manager's here, and apparently that's alright for him. Fuck off! They're working 40 hours a week on fucking minimum wage in McDonald's, dealing with pretentious fucking cunts like you all day.
They should be handed speed and fucking any drugs that they ask for.
Oh, what a pish.
I dare say you could actually get drunk doing office work. Because you could be drunk and still type.
But you'd
and then have like the sober, the ones that didn't want to drink for either religious reasons or reasons that they didn't want to drink. Hey, then fix spell mistakes for the drunk people that are getting all this work done. Perfect way to run a business.
No, it's not. You're employing 2 people instead of 1.
I just think it's fucking amazing. That'll be amazing.
Speed would work.
Speed's
we actually came somebody that took Speed to work at their call centre job, and he says it works.
We'll get him on the podcast and he'll talk about it.
He probably will talk about it, but I'm not going to name him just in case.
But fucking that's an insight into my life. If anybody's interested, I'm gonna do it.
But full respect to people that work in McDonald's, because
totally,
I would kill myself if I had to work there. So second last story. You might have heard about this. Colin Kaepernick.
I know your name.
Aye. He plays for a football team, American football team.
Right. There's a good chance I've not heard this.
No. He refused to stand for the national anthem before a match with the Green Bay Packers.
I did hear about this.
Aye.
I didn't hear about the story in particular. I just heard somebody talking about, you will sing that national anthem. Just somebody complaining about it.
Oh, it was somebody... Aye. See, this is a thing that conservatives...
It fucking freaks me out, that.
Conservatives seem to forget about, is that they're always talking about people fought for your right to do all this. Well, yes, but they also fought for the right to not fucking stand. You're forgetting that bit. Like, calm the fuck down. Fucking right-wing social justice warrior. Calm down. And here's his reason, which I think is applaudable. I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of colour. Colour spelt wrong. Which is American. To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder. Talking about the police.
Oh.
So he's no standard.
Excellent.
So, do you think he should be punished?
No.
No.
Not in the fucking slightest.
Well, his team also didn't think he should be punished.
Good.
They've stood up and said...
That surprised me, actually, to be fair. That the team have all fucking applauded him for doing it, because Americans are fucking mental.
They didn't applaud him.
Oh, no.
They said they were more conservative. They had to keep...
Oh, aye. I'll be the press manager or something that deals with that shit there as well. No.
They essentially said, we support the national anthem, and it's to represent and respect and celebrate our right to freedom. But we also understand that part of that freedom allows him to stand or sit and do whatever the fuck he likes. Mm-hmm. So they're like, fucking patriotism, fucking wank with patriotism.
That's a fucking amazing press manager.
But let him do what he wants as well.
Aye, there you go.
So they've had to go both ways.
Aye.
But I would have just been like, I don't fucking care.
It's the same story with every fucking kind of press release. And...
Problem I've got though isn't even with the national anthem. That's a sporting thing. Even through here, they'll stand for their national anthem. They'll go whatever fucking patriotic pish. The problem I've got in the US is their Pledge of Allegiance thing that they do every morning in schools. That is robotic, creepy shit.
Do they
man.
actually do that every morning?
Every fucking morning.
Is it certain skills?
Every school.
Every school.
Well, every state school.
I
think. Well, I'm guessing if you're in a Christian school. Wow.
Sorry.
I'm guessing if you're at a Christian school, they're probably also going to do it. But it's a nationwide like public school, state school thing. So every day, people stand up with the robotic fucking. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Like the song, like that fucking Eminem song.
Aye.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Every day.
God.
Every fucking day. And there's been atheists sued because they don't stand during the Pledge of Allegiance, because they don't want to say one nation, indivisible with God, or under God.
One nation under God, aye.
Indivisible with liberty and freedom, or whatever it is. And they've been sued. But they've won, in fairness. They've won.
They've won, right. They've been right.
But that's still insane that you could be at school, you could be like a 15-year-old. I didn't believe in God at school.
No.
I didn't believe in like patriotism and stuff like that. I've never been that guy. And at 15-year-old, to think that I could have been sued because I didn't want to stand for this pitch is insane. That is so... It's like robotic fucking... pish.
It's so pathetic,
it's
man.
Creepy as fuck. And the good thing is that Colin said he's going to continue sitting during the national anthem in order to keep proving the point.
Right, fair enough. Good. I'll keep doing that, Colin.
So, big up
Colin.
Colin.
Up Colin if you listen.
Aye.
Which he probably is.
Clearly, obviously.
I'll tag him in.
We big you up,
you ever seen all these things that like if I can get 100 likes and shares and or 100,000 or whatever, will you fucking tell my gran happy birthday? See all that shit getting shared about. We should do that with Colin. Since we shout you out, if we can get a 100k likes on our podcast. There you go.
Will you come in for a podcast?
Aye. We come all the way from America. You hate by that, Colin.
Aye, because
We've no money.
we're a bit fiscally conservative at the moment.
Colt Cabana wanted 750 quid to come on, and we didn't have that. So fuck you, Colin.
How much is the plane ride for America like?
I'm not sure. Like, it's millions money.
Millions, right? Especially now with the fucking.
It's still hundreds. It's probably going to be cheaper to get a guy just to come from America if he was going to stay here for the night and go back in.
But then
than it is to get Colt Cabana on the podcast.
But then you need to pay for him to get from the airport to Fife.
No, you can do that. No, it's up to him. So you have to come to Kenaway as well. Oh god.
So for all our cretins, if you badger Colin, we'll try and get him on the podcast.
Aye, fuck aye.
And that'll happen.
I've got 10 likes, man. That's my forecast for that. 10 likes only.
If that.
Aye.
So, final story of the day.
Mm-hmm. Is this a one of these need?
No.
Fine, fair enough. I'll go back.
Oh, should we not know what the fuck? We've kind of got air that over.
Aye. It's a bit shit.
It's a bit shit, aye. So, Jeremy Corbyn is taking the fight to the Tories online.
Oh, from Facebook.
Well, yes. He's got plans for the next election to suggest online voting.
Good.
So
I've always said that.
Aye. And he's the first politician of a major party, I think. I think the Greens talked about it. To suggest this. And it's fucking amazing. Because he's also suggested that because of the surge of young people that he's got, in case folk haven't noticed, there's been a fucking insane amount of people joining the Labour Party. A lot of them younger, in order to just purely to support Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
And he's saying that he's going to use that as his biggest weapon against the Tories, and he's going to start fucking using online campaigning as his fucking main force, because he thinks that's the way forward. That's how you're going to get young people involved. That's how you're going to get young people talking about politics for fucking once. And he's totally right. He's fucking right.
This is another thing that people have to remember, that young people are the absolute fucking reason that we need to fight for a lot of these fucking things. I'm not going to be here when they start to put in a lot of like good stuff. I'm guaranteeing that I'll be fucking away in a wee box somewhere before they start being
I support universal basic income. And I could pretty much guarantee that I'm going to be dead before that's ever implemented in the UK.
That's the thing. Old people have a fucking mainly huge problem with thinking about everybody else. It's a fucking really horrid thing, and they've voted like this all their life. It's politics when it's first started off, and its main thing is like voting for what you want, sort of thing, rather than thinking about, which was radical for you, while people thinking about the greater good, sort of thing. It's absolutely unbelievable to think of that, but people do genuinely vote based on. I'm sure people do, you know. It's really quite annoying.
Totally, like I'm no. You'll see people talking about that. This new generation's ruined because of all these video games and stuff. I'm like, I want parents to have much better stuff than I had. That's meant to be the plan. When you have kids, you're meant to want your kids to have a better life than what you had. You're not meant to be like, well, you're not getting a better life than I did. Nah. Like fucking Jesus Christ!
Like that whole thing, like, I used to play with a stick when I was wee. Like, well, that's fantastic.
No fantastic. That's shit.
I've got an analog stick. I'm playing a real fucking cool thing.
Aye, I want parents to have better life than I fucking did, and the way to do that is to progress and not fucking regress.
Get them away if you're playing Chappie. That's a shit game.
And Stinny.
Stinny
was the shitbags version of Chappie, where you didn't actually want to go straight to the door. You just threw a couple of stins, so it sounded like vaguely like somebody was knocking, and then you had a longer time to run away. That was the shitbags version.
When you threw just buds for the floors. You only get that in the small towns, like it's like wee trees for buds. You just bud the windies.
That's just Stinny in it. It's just using a different implement.
Well, you're not going to break the window, sort of thing.
He's a different
tool.
See,
more thinking as well.
Wouldn't they just be arseholes? Buds are harder than all.
Are they? Fuck, they're just wee fucking tiny fruits, man.
Are they?
Like wee mini tomatoes.
Are they? Is that what they are?
No. They're not actually called buds. We just called them buds because they were the end of a flower.
What was it? What was the game? It was a fucking stupid shit game. Didn't even make any sense. I didn't remember anybody playing it, but I used to hear about folk playing it all the time.
Right.
I never seen it. But it was a game where you went to somebody's house, you knocked on the door. When they came, you asked them what the time it is, and then you ran away when they checked.
Aye.
What a fucking pointless game.
I got told about that game, and we thought, right, we'll try it, we'll see how fun this is.
They have watches.
We went and done the first one. Well, I done the first one. And I was like, alright. And then ran a war. And then we were like, thinking that we're maybe at some point going to get a chase, because that was fun. That wasn't it. That was sarcasm there, by the way. I didn't work because people were like, well, that was weird. And then just went and finished jagging up. Usually. So it was just a weird shit game. Absolutely fucking stupid. There was loads of new fucking daft games.
Me and Darren were dicks.
Yes. I know. Aye.
We played a game. I don't know what I mentioned exactly where, but it's got to be. I'm going to be limiting the options of where it could be by the story.
Right.
Is that we used to shine a laser pen into somebody's window and then hide in my garden and shine the laser pen from my fence into their window and then just hide. It was dark, so they couldn't see us. CS. They couldn't see us, and they'd just stand at the door for ages, just be like, "What the? Where the fuck?" Like, because normally when folk are playing with that, you could hear them talking, but we'd be super quiet, and we're far away enough that they couldn't hear us giggling, and it was brutal. Like an hour, we'd just be lying there.
I had that happen to me in here, but what the people forgot was that I was in a direct position to know exactly who that came from, because of the type of people that live in that house.
Aye.
And the kind of younger generation that live in that house. So I knew exactly where that house...
Was this here?
Yeah.
So I can exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That arsehole.
No, it's true.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Idiots. They didn't think that... They obviously want to hang about the generational gap and all that stuff. It didn't come into their minds. They were just like, "Oh, throw a laser pen through the window." Like that. So it was pretty ridiculous. Pretty fun.
I hated being a kid.
Kids are dumb.
The only thing I had fun with Dane was climbing a tree. That was pretty much it.
Used to do that a lot.
Aye. Then you get stuck up the tree.
Shit.
And nobody able to climb back down again.
I always heard about you climbing trees. I never heard about you climbing back down trees. No. That was never brought into the equation. Like, Craig loves climbing trees. That's fantastic.
He's nobody going to get him back down.
Do you throw ladders up to him? Like, how does he get back?
It was very annoying that I'd climb the highest tree at the roundabout, because I was the only one that was able to get up there. Okay. For some reason, I was getting
younger, fitter dudes couldn't even get up it, but Craig's fucking...
For some reason, Jordan was shit at climbing trees. To an extent.
I'm surprised at Gordon.
Oh no, we didn't really hang about with Gordon when we were climbing trees.
Shit.
He was more sporty. He was more sort of football and... So climbing trees, I was good at that as a youngster.
Don't you climb trees?
No, motherfucker, I got bears and shit. But I said I didn't because I was a child. So I did climb trees.
Pretty much the way that works, man. Was that
that's pretty much
point?
He's going to win the election with young people on the airlines.
We've spoken about that before. Online voting. There's a good chance of getting fucked up by hackers and shit, but
there's also saying that there actually isn't a better system than we've got now. There's human error is about all you've got to worry about. People that talk about vote, election, count, fraud and stuff. Mm-hmm. When you've got 4 parties or they're watching, it's hard to fake that.
My thing would be is the people that complain about the fucking the way it's handled and stuff like that. They should go and do it next year, the next time they do it.
You're allowed to do it yourself.
I would just say fucking to anybody that complains about that shit, go and do it.
Or you don't need to go and count it. Just go and watch.
Well, let's remember,
you're allowed to watch. If you are going to moan about it and didn't go down and watch, fuck you for being a fucking annoying moaning cunt.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's a great way to finish off, I think. Just moaning at credits.
Because that annoys me. Fuck them and the arse.
Jesus, right, fair enough.
We have spoiled cake.
I want to finish off on a kind of cool note. Hector Bizerk, as you well know, on October the 15th, doing the last gig at the Art School in Glasgow. That's the Infinito. Louis starting his own project.
Oh, such great news.
But I'm going to play one of the tunes. That's the... So, an ode to Hector Bizerk, I'm going to play Boss Love, and I think near the end thing, I'll play one of my favourite songs. Or we could agree on a song that we'll play too.
Cool.
Play them off. That'd be cool. So this is a track called Boss Love, one of their kind of first ones.
Yeah, that was sort of the beginning of their career.
So I'll play like a later one when we get up there. So this is Hector Bizerk, Boss Love. Peace.
Hip hop, a legitimate art form. Grid walked in the lack of a platform. Solid infrastructure where knowledge isn't nurtured. Nature isn't ruptured. Fake won't cut the mustard. And nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. Determination declares if you're deterred to malfunction. A reservation reserving them other person you're judging. Cause you're no pressing your button. So then you question the substance. To never do uni but be unidirectional. Duly dependable music professional. No few are identical. Refusing to let it go. Omnidirectional. Chasing the decibel. And nothing is supposed to be easy. you don't believe it. Can't him the moment sees it. I don't give to receive it. Live to achieve, not to appease. It's not a part-time caprice. Even on my knees, it's what lets me breathe and I'm at ease. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. Right on the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bumper of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist, burning desire of an arsonist. I put the heart in this, cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Take pride in being impulsive. Cycles of indulgence, for writing I'm compulsive. Instinctively convulsive, intrinsically repulsive. I infiltrate your numbness, run rings round your circumference. And everything can happen, working hard to make it work. Diligence is happy, sitting back to pass the buck. Primitive gets nasty if you create your own luck. Disengage the passion, turning down the thumbs up. But ramifications get standing ovations. Enamored impatience, it cannot get raging. A manifestation of non-hesitation. A centralisation of vocation is creation. The truth is unmistakable, devoid of altercation. Life is not debatable when awkward conversation. Time is irreplaceable, can't stop it from escaping. But freedom is operational, living off imagination. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. Right on the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bubble of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist, burning desire of an arsonist. To put a heart in this, cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Learning is earning the true philosophy. Determined, discerning the huge majority. Or sterling, submerging a knowledge economy. Immersing a person in monetary policy. Out of politics and sovereignty. What depicts authority? Liberal living logically. Think I lost the plot like a game of Monopoly. Cause I've not bought the property. I look at it awkwardly. You look at me awkwardly. Forever the optimist, cleverly cognitive. Footpath innocuous. Steadily striding walkway that's provocative. Prerogative synonymous with honestness. 2 feet on the ground and I would pick a chiropodist. Success no destination. A journey of promises. Tested by complications, not burdened by lawlessness. Tasting the motivation of hunger, subconsciousness. Investing the information, self-control, reconnaissance. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. Right on the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bubble of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist, burning desire of an arsonist. I put a heart in this, cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. In tandem with my manuscript paralysis of arrogance, an anarchist analysis embarrasses your narrative. My heart of steel has a corrugated structure. I turn the wheel where the tyres were punctured. The bubble of a fantasist. The struggle of a masochist, burning desire of an arsonist. I put a heart in this, cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose. Self-harmless as a narrative, laid back as a matterist. Cement in the bloodstream, the veins of varicose.